The Supreme Court wrapped up its term today, dropping final opinions on some of the country's most debated issues, including birthright citizenship and transgender athletes. Our Julissa Arizari breaks down both rulings and what they mean for Coloradans.
On their last day of their term, U.S. Supreme Court justices knocked down a policy President Trump tried to implement on his first, limiting birthright citizenship. Trump had issued an executive order on day one of his second term, challenging the idea that anyone born on U.S. soil is automatically a citizen. Today, in a 6-3 decision, SCOTUS struck down that order, saying it violates the 14th Amendment of the Constitution that offers equal protections to all Americans.
So if it had gone the other way, it would have affected thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people across the country.
Chris Jackson is a constitutional law attorney in Colorado. He says, had the outcome been different, there would be a lot of questions of how it'd be enforced.
Then courts might have had to look into questions about whether or not the person's parents, I think the phrase is, made this nation their permanent home. That's a kind of very detailed, fact-specific inquiry that could be very hard to accomplish in practice.
And in another 6-3 decision today, the Supreme Court upheld state laws banning transgender athletes from girls' and women's sports. In the opinion, Justice Brett Kavanaugh wrote, the states did not violate the Equal Protection Clause by using biological sex as a requirement for female teams.
And that is what Initiative 109 does.
Jax Gonzalez is the political director at One Colorado. They say this ruling does not really directly impact Coloradans right now, but an initiative on the November ballot will. 109 would require students to compete on school sports teams based on sex assigned at birth, covering school sports from K through 12 and college.
This K through college ban puts the same expectations on a kindergartner as it does on a varsity athlete. And we need to make sure that Colorado continues to stick with our values, fairness and right to be able to access spaces regardless of who you are.
I was Julissa Arizari reporting. So it's important to note the Colorado High School Activities Association, CHASA, has already agreed not to sanction certain schools and teams over their policies on transgender students. This is part of a settlement between the association and a group of school districts in a lawsuit.